Hey friends, what's up? Ash here. Welcome back to Extra Gents Scents. Time for a cheap fragrance today. Been reviewing some nice fragrances, some high-end fragrances, some that I really love, some that I like okay, but still, all of them had that quality. And today we're going the other way. We're checking out that other end of the spectrum. We go from the high quality to the $25 some odd police fragrance. 20 to 25, somewhere in there. It's cheap. I will link it in the description in case you want to check it out. It is Police Potion Power. I mean, that's what it's called, Police Potion Power. I had to do it. So this one I bought from FRAGNET as part of a larger haul. I got some nice fragrances and some cheap fragrances. The idea was maybe at least one of those cheap fragrances will be kind of a little hidden gem. So in today's video, I will break this one down for you. I'll show you the presentation, let you know how it smells, let you know whether or not you should check it out, and all that good stuff. So let's jump into it and let's check out the new Police. So as I said, guys, I got this one from FRAGNET, ran me right at $25, maybe just below $25. Let's check out the presentation and see what that will get you. Here you got the box, you have the name of the house, the name of the fragrance, the size, and concentration right there on the front. You have Police up on top and also on the sides. On the back, you have a little info on the fragrance and a QR code. The new Police Potion Power is the first chapter of a collection of fragrances inspired by the magical world of potions. Nice. On the bottom, you have your ingredients and your barcode. The badge code is printed on the bottom of the box. It's a little bit hard to read. It's 2103271A. And here's the bottle. All things considered, for a police fragrance, this is actually a good looking bottle. Probably the best one they've ever made. You have a little skull and crossbones on the front there, name of the house. You have a little P on top of the cap. And on the bottom, you have a sticker with your badge code. The cap does click into place. It is ultra lightweight. This weighs absolutely nothing, feels super cheap. Let's go ahead and waste a couple sprays. The atomizer is actually pretty good, a nice pressurized atomizer here. So as I said, for police fragrances, this is a really, really good looking presentation. Much better, in my opinion, than their other ones, like those crappy skull bottles. Yeah, so we got 3 blue bottles from Police here. There's this one, which, I mean, it's different at least. And some people do like these, but I think they're pretty cheesy. Then you got these, which don't look good or feel good at all. These are like the cheapest feeling ones from the house by far. I mean, there's not much of a comparison. This looks way better. I also have another bottle style from Police, but I'm not gonna go over there and grab it. This one still looks better, you're gonna have to believe me. So how does this guy smell? Well, I will tell you, it does not smell how you would expect if you don't know the note breakdown, or maybe even if you do know the note breakdown. Because when you look at this bottle, the skull and crossbones, this gradient where it goes dark blue up at the top and then lighter at the bottom, and then the packaging itself here, power, you know, all that stuff. The magnetic scent doesn't go unnoticed. It attracts with its pure energy and vitality, all this stuff. You're probably expecting it to really pack a wallop, maybe be overly sweet, you know, kind of a clubbing fragrance to get people's attention, something powerful, but no, actually it doesn't really smell like that much at all. And one of the reasons I got this is to give Police another chance, because most of the Police fragrances I've gotten, I haven't liked, which is not a surprise. They're really cheap fragrances and they smell cheap. It smells very synthetic when you first spray it on, as in the entirety of this fragrance is synthetic and you can tell like that immediately, but you kind of expect that. It's a Police fragrance, it costs you $25 or less. You're not expecting something to come across and smell hyper natural, so I can look past that. There's not really too much spiciness in the opening. There are spicy notes, but you can't really pick them out. Actually, it's kind of hard to pick out many of the notes. Instead, it ends up coming across like a synthetic, fresh, white floral fragrance with kind of a sunscreen vibe. Maybe you can pick out like bits and pieces of orange blossom, of jasmine, of violet, but they're all kind of just mixed together to an extent. As far as fruits go, apple, you can get kind of a crisp apple, not overly pronounced, just like this little hint of green apple that's mixed together with an abundance of synthetic white florals. And then underneath it all, some sort of ambroxany, musky mix with a hint of tonka sweetness. That's pretty much it. So one of the main draws here, I guess, is going to be that sort of solar note, sunscreen kind of thing going on with the fragrance, which you smelled in other scents as well. And here it's done with a heavy white floral touch. It doesn't come across overly masculine at all, which is another kind of surprise really, because this is potion power for men. And you know, it's definitely made to look like, oh, this is a masculine blue fragrance. That's the whole vibe that this is giving off. And then you spray it on and it's actually a white floral sunscreen ambroxan with a little bit of fruit and musk that smells completely unisex. So like I said before, it is not something that you really expect. I'd say the closest thing this smells like off the top of my head is Amouage Reflection Man. If you stripped away the richness from that, if you stripped away anything natural smelling from that, any of the density there, you know, anything that really gives it heft, and you injected a solid dose of like a sunscreen accord and really focused in on those white florals in a much more synthetic way. It's kind of like that. Kind of like if you took Reflection Man and instead reimagined it as a fragrance for teenagers, and you took the quality and dropped it from a 100 to like a 15. Kind of like that. But it's not really all bad here, because even though this whole packaging and the idea doesn't make sense, it doesn't really jive cohesively with how the fragrance smells, even though you have that disconnect, the fragrance itself for a lot of people would be a really solid pickup. For me personally, am I gonna wear it? No. You see all these fragrances? No. But for 25 some odd dollars, especially for a younger guy or somebody who likes things that are very fresh in this way, it could work out pretty decently. And in actuality, it does have decent performance. So I guess that part of the fragrance name, the power part, it works out okay. Projects really well initially, and I would say overall it's a little bit above average, and the longevity is pretty good too, above average with that as well, especially for this type of scent, spring, summertime cheapy. And for what it's worth, I mean, I don't own all the police fragrances, but I got like 10 of them or something that I've picked up over the years. This is probably the best one as far as the full package goes. Presentation doesn't look so embarrassingly cheap that you don't want to have it in your collection. Like the other ones are on the bottom row, all the way in the corner, like where no one will ever see them of my collection, like way over there. This one at least looks decent. Like this is presentable, right? So it has that going for it. It has decent performance. It has at least a fragrance that smells like it makes sense. It doesn't have stuff sticking out that you know, sticks out like a sore thumb, I'm trying to say, because sometimes you'll have fragrances that aren't blended really well and maybe one note will just kind of ruin the whole thing. That doesn't happen here. The fragrance is cohesive. It doesn't make sense with the packaging, but the fragrance makes sense in and of itself. When you're talking stuff this cheap, I think it does it pretty well. I think it's a decent pickup. So for me, am I gonna wear it? No. Do I really like the way it smells? No, but some people are gonna dig this. Some people will enjoy it. My wife thinks it smells okay. So there we go. Police Power, kind of a mixed bag. Parts of this don't make sense. Parts of this don't work for me. But then when you consider that it's a really inexpensive fragrance, it is a step up from what the house has done in the past. And so I gotta give them credit for that. You know, when they're trying to do something a little bit new, a little bit different, and a little bit higher quality, kind of encourage that and hope that it leads to better things. Because I would much rather see a new version of this potion line than some of this freaking crap. So there we go, Police Potion Power. I would say if you like fragrances that do have that white floral freshness front and center, you don't mind that it doesn't smell really overly natural, and you actually like that solar note trend, then absolutely check this out. It doesn't cost that much. It'll probably work pretty well for you. If you don't like fragrances like that, don't waste your money. You can probably find another cheapie out there that'll work better. All right, I'm out of here. If you smell that one, let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Thank you for your aim with me. I'll see you tomorrow on another video. Blah, blah, blah.